Hello everyone, Nabon Chavin, welcome back to this channel. Last video to banking error spotting part 2 ni bolo hin. Tunyang hi banking error hi temkat SSI hi ha focus taman siya tunyang hi banking error spotting part 3 ni bolo hin. Exam banking exam an bolo to bit hi head long to time management hi piha mizo si buina hin na med section tita law idol adang section tita law English azing azong he out of 40 questions bang vela cho 30 chen humble solve dot ti bang na maximum a cho thoma thom hin is ya cho cho ko iti ki ngan ding kam speed hui tia le maths banga maths jo zong speed gan ding a practice a hangai ta ba ko English ang cho rules of familiarity in ha bil ngai mo nan cho example a chi no sooner ti ho bang vel cho akipat na mo a hi le chun ni bo error na bet yum cho so ta bang ko a trick he de hi maths trick ta bang in English trick aki bang point na met English awang hi a trick pa ko rule na ha familiar ding si no sooner na mo hi le dalung thima error type chu ni le thum hung ke lang ta beta hi chu option a ko na gawen a hi le khat pen chu na hi dim na cho chu ki ha hil thei zo hi be se point concept pa hi clear a ilo hi le familiarity hi ha nei chana chu a pha jing na is it chun approach student hi tip ha tip mai tip lo concept hi ha head lo hi bang chu adi dia banking ha hi head hosing song ke solve man lang di tabanga hong he ji chun hi chen concept clear di pa hingai tu tin tu chunga banking exam bang vela cho error spotting hi around li hovel ji cho khat chu parts of speech preposition hovel base sitting 3 chu adang atam zo maximum ti na atam zo cho subject verb agreement base atame ti chu mu the hin hi ja chu error spotting a hi banking hen SSC zong le subject verb agreement hi equally important na for both the exams this we had diva poi mo kan say that ja so koi tabang channel parts of subject verb agreement part mga part 7 ko avenai daw pa hida ite innovative notes personal kisim theory zong ani simutin SSC banking nga they're equally important na poi mo ma jing he aji so parts of speech ang ko apoi mo lo ti ki khen subject verb awang so equally important na to 30 zong thing point 27 tham khan hin cho zo si ko concept clear ba hile chu error spotting a chu itan ham kha chu clarity ne phat ba hile itan ham kha chu score jung hai thei de ti chu ka sei num hin ten phile tonight last video chu 25 questions sam kha in se hin tu chunga he 120 questions in a solve deu hin chei theu ham zong na video ten sawang chu hin saw de na video jong plus kan zo ding ham ka zo lo de ham ke the point ai phile na panutin detail abang concept ho hi deep ta kan sei lo ding ai tai na ji chu video loi hang ka sei tai to hi topic wise a chi jong thi point na api ha error spotting banking I solve the way ja chu hi chi pen chu kan ti le detail a kan sei lo de tyo a detail a vet nu ba hi ka sei bangin a topic jong ji chun ai ho concept ani clear mas out na detail abang chu concept expect bote ti chu kan sei nam he one paging hitin first question I have hand no sooner kiti hi imu phat le hin concept ni bo vet diu akipat na pan phale na head diu khat chu not only abana never hardly barely scarcely rarely abana no sooner hitiho hin if they initiate a sentence na sentence akipat na pan ba hile check din yum so ama sa pena chu pi check din ha rule of inversion athang pia chu fixed date di ka tini approach dan ha chu kan say rule of inversion chu pi ham tia hile hitiho sawa hi a rule chu pi ham rule of inversion inverse a hong chi di nan chu I hardly reach the station when the train left your I hardly subject masa usual structure of a sentence subject masa abana verb verb yana abana verb and follow to hiti structure hito aban le adang khat chu pham tia hile to I say inversion pa chu pham tia hile chun rule of inversion kiti phala kun helping verb hung masading abana subject munding abana main verb chu pi say nam tia hile nan chu hardly had I reached the station hindi nandiyo helping verb hong masading abana subject hong ding abana main verb na helping verb kiti phatle hiji had bo hilo so has have had do does the abona hong thei de to rule of inversion a follow event a hila chun had helping verb basa abana the chief subject data abana main verb arrive who did it rule of inversion to follow ito who did part a to no ele part b below hen no sooner kiti hi ipito ki pairs yam itiya hile no sooner hi then to ki pairs ito so ato no sooner chara hi below hen option c ya when to ki pair kiti hi to dito na so error license option c when hi loading then to hi chikan say na pa cho ida chi be sang hi error hung ding is ato na so akipat phat le rule of inversion check diu abana so ipito ki pair am check diu aki pair hi thiam khat sei saw le no sooner hi then to ki pair ta so ele when to ki pair ding so ipp ham tia hi le hardly barely scarcely hi jing cc hi when to ki pair this na mail chu te aban question hang in man diu na no sooner to then to ki pair hardly barely scarcely to when to ki pair ele next question hi below question number 2. The company management has ordered 5,000 new laptops for all its remote employees across the country. Detail kan sa loading concept kan mato kan ikhat set di ho error ka he. Company management singular has singular data. Ele abana hi option B hi 5,000 new laptops iti to. Ele tu hin laptop. Tu hin ken I have a new laptop tila. Laptop tha khat kanai to. Khat ito na one kiti a kiti to singular tin ito ele tu hin number of laptops increase so hitin 2 tiuta 2 kiti laptops ni hita na abana news ngai ta lo cho na jiju jo hiti hi noun here ita bang laptop ham atha hiji adjective so chi part 2 to kasay ita kilometer adjective kiti hin plural form anay poi kiti to chi atu to hi even a hi laptop chu noun ele hiti 5,000 titeni hi adjective ito jizi atu plural form am thelo so error lies in option B na singular form am de na next question 3 she worked hardly throughout the entire semester which is why she scored top marks in the final examination option A hi ibena hile she worked hardly kiti to ihe diu khat chu hard kiti hi piham tun slow tiute kiti adjective to ele adverb chu pi hung hi de slow adverb chu slowly na quick to quickly alang pi ai adjective file bai hab adverb ki su ji ele hardly ki tia hi hard na tia hi le sila zong adverb zong hard mama na nan chu simin le kha simin tia le work hardly ngai lo study hardly ngai lo hard chu adjective zong hi adverb zong hi chi a chu amonga hard to hardly hi pizza commonly confuse am tia hi la chun tun bata hard I study hard tiute I study hard. I study verb how hard. Si adverb to. Ele hardly yung chu kimang thau hi chu. Ai mga chu meaning chu chu. Tun I hardly study. Tilang negative ita chu. A frequency chu almost never. Apom simlaw tabak na tini chu. Siya chu hard ekitya hile with lot of effort tampi kipi. Hardly kiti phat de chun almost never na. Zero tabang a frequency to hasima kisim pum sim lo tabang juju so that she worked hardly hilo di she worked hard na hardly loading hard about the next question the applicant was enough experience to answer all the technical questions posed by the interview panel without any hesitation option A ama sa penin below hand the applicant singular was singular data enough experience hiti concept jong hi abay ahi banga chu kidong mun ke khat so adjective plus enough a structure to hit it so na so you are smart enough na enough smart hit hello it's very simple to them baya bay wa ki dong mun ji ai wa che exam ai pizia choi ki dong ham tai le to hi similar chun exam ko phya exam tension nei pum pun similar chun the applicant was enough experience by na lungela experience enough na simdi iti hai lungela auto correct ji ji beta so adi lau chu ki mo ai wa chu isim phat adi da na ki sim pe pe ti kha maintain na ti ja song he sima a simple baya bay ai wa ki dong mun na abane ki ball hill mun ki so to adjective plus enough ti ja chu pen he interchange na ball the option a she was the applicant was experienced enough so air license option a one na abana question 5 iron is more useful than any metal found on the earth for heavy industrial manufacturing iron is more useful more positive na data then more comparative is then to compare data any metal adang sanga dito metal khat phat phalo metal adang ho sanga ti ja chu chi incomplete na any zawa hi pi hab de any other chicken to concept on ki dong mun tho common khat he any other metal hit your structure part so air license option 2 b the project supervisor not only approved the revised budget but also the extended deadline proposed by the development team hit here not only but also prepare here not only but also prepare to hit sawitan ele so to ho hi ipb sa ki dong phang tia hi da chun I write not only poems but also publish poems novels dito to hin velo hen not only zawa hi piuma poems subject ti yam noun ti ta chuna che ele but also zawa hi ki ko ya publish ti to verb jo hi ji pa hi so parallelism ngai not only zawa subject na koi noun khat na ko ya but also zawa verb na ko chu chi jo di lo ele ipt bol du ham tia hi da chun to hi verb nium cho na verb nium ma hi da chun right hi ko ya ham verb hi poem sa hi ja chu amasang chen ahine koi di na to amnan chu I write not only poems but also novels sibang bel hi le amnan chu not only zo I poems subject noun hita ele but also zawa novels chizong now chi chu parallelism of the na aji chu pham tia ile thil ka ji cho I write na thil ka ji ipham ka ji cho poem ki hello novel zong atini cho chi di chu aji chu chila right hi pizza not only masanga ham tia hi da chun right hi ko ya ham poem sa zong hi novel sa zong hi cho chi ja chu not only masanga ka koi ti ngai ko mana ko za the ni dinga ele achunga hi veleu hen chi right hi ko ya ham poem sa bo cho aji chu novels kun verb dang nei cho chi ja chu chi ko mana ki la thailo hi ja chu poems masang che ana koi di aji chu not only masanga na koi ko mana ki mangda na hu ya chi chu thailo so not only zawa right na koi di interchange na bol ti ni so I not only write poems but also publish novels na tiya not only zawa verb but also zawa verb it's a parallelism hit here na atom trading lampe na kan se si based on banking question ba very common momong khat he so hi concept clarity abai pe na check the you dan a meaning ga halu thu ngai lo aji chu bia sentence example ki ji dilom lam la not only zawa chu piu mam verb ham noun ham chilanga to parallelism nam ipiti khel to le pham chi pa so na chai le ki chai na chu hin den chi a chu chila jong hi velo and the project supervisor not only approved chila hi verb cho abana but also zo ipu the extended deadline ki chu subject ha ko introduce ta chu na verb hitalo chi a chu ipiti gol diu ham tia hi le chila ya ko extended deadline in verb dang anei lo a chu approve hi common na man ti nei cho revise budget a jong hi extended deadline a jong hi ku tia hi le chun not only masanga na koi ti ngai na So piti bol diyo han. Not only pahi in interchange na bol di. The project supervisor approved, IPP ham approved to not only the revised budget but also the extended deadline. Na. So error lies in option 2, part B. Question 7. The research team is working on this revolutionary vaccine since the beginning of last year with continuous funding. Tu hin beleuhan si concept zang tu. Ta abalan yung concept kan saying alas lang le kung kaspit kan su lang team dia concept. The research team singular is singular. Subject verb agreement based among to di ito. Na ele on this since the beginning of last year. Tu hin I am studying since morning. I am studying since morning kitilipi senam. Ay mi pa to ledo ding aso. Zingka pat le ha kasim. Atini hito. Ele si veleuhan aten si am studying kiti to present continuous. So present continuous akitia hele apet pet na say pet til su tu na. When you talk about something or action which is happening at the moment of your speech, na say pet na happening ho na say ni hito. To hi zingka apat sim hito apet pet about lo. Zingka simpanta and tu zanazong sim nalai. Kudia hele chun action chu kipan hita chu zingka. Akipat na pat kisay ta kipanta hi hele chun perfect hiding na ta kiti ko perfect is into perfect hita ele to zong na sim na lai ti ni hito as it is present naman na zingka pat an sim to zong na sim na lai that means perfect continuous present context is atu present perfect continuous am te tingai is working hitelo is working natin at the moment of hiti akisay pet abo hi ki focus so but iti aham last year apat ita so present perfect continuous am na dinga atu sibang hi I have been studying natidi so since morning na past context sana saya hili I had been natidi to to have hito a form pa hito apoy mo been studying kiti pa hina tizi atu hi present context sa saying present perfect continuous sana pwede nga hilatun kiti is working hiloding the research team has been working so error lies in option 1. Question 8. The new department head behaves as if he's the sole owner of this multinational corporation. Kasi last video kasi am kasi lohang mang tukit taban but subject verb agreement ha clear ta kasi hitain kasi bangin deep in say to ponggoting. Sila the new department head behaves. Di ito head singular behave singular. Ele as if kiti ito ahidan da na kiti ito. Ata hilaw unreal situation. Hypothetical situation ay lawa hila subjunctive mood. Kana say ho ato last video lang ana. Iti ho ato because am tiya hila chun helping verb naman po hila where naman ding main verb naman po hila V2 naman di ito na. Kutia hili as if he was hilawdi. This is supposed to be where na so error lies in option B. Abana 9. Question 9 ni 2/3 of the construction work is here. So ang subject verb kasi hayita kasi sa hina. Kan bil say loaded x by y of x% of. I hope niyo kat ni hinsay nga. Hiti 1/3 2/3 na 2/3 elo 1% 90% ip hizong le. Ityo hi a verb ipt kilasiam ityahile. The verb agrees with main subject. Hiti ha ki depende so sila 90% izong lechun. Hiti subject singular form elo uncountable naman na singular verb hitaw todi. Ito hi belaw 2/3 na belaw dito. One number pa na belaw di. Pami bet dito. Main subject to work hito. Work kiti to nato dito uncountable one verb two works hitelo. So uncountable noun ni pila siya singular verb siya. So error lies in option B. Have loading has. Na option B. Abana, the number of unresolved complaints have increased steadily because customers were finding the grievance portal difficult to access. The number subject verb hoy tahi wabang the number of na het hoy sel di ha na error sugang chala het hi mama ho. A great number of a large number of iti patlehun verb is always plural. Ay mga ehi da na hila the number of natipo po hili verb subject to plural hili hizongle verb should be singular. So the number of unresolved complaints have loading has. So error lies in option B. Question 11 he parallelism based on tense na. He had the option past tense of changing the course but he ultimately decides had past tense decides present tense so hi thei dem cut present cut past cut present hi thei lo na hel na dinga chu ipi pen an hel ding ham tia hi la chun option course change na di option an nain a hi bangin a hi tia past tense di ni chu putia hi le chi chu di ding i hel ding chu option C na decided. Option 3. 12. Its findings cannot be relied to substitute the judgment of a lawyer, doctor, or engineer or other professionals. Its findings cannot be relied kiti pisay na. Depends sa YP kimangziam. Depend on kiti ziso na. Sisi ato option A. At hilauding on error license option 1. Okay. Question 13. He did not clear the cutoff marks, yet he had worked hard and had adopted the right strategy. Sibang meaning base of it zep ngay na. Cutoff to a clear the boy. Na. He had worked hard, had adopted the right strategy. Hasimasim hapanapang right strategy adopt ahibangin a clear the boy at iso. Na. Ele. Yet who hitayam. He had worked hard and had adopted the right strategy, yet still he did not clear the cutoff marks kitila naman to yet so. But si case ay structure he hung ipiham rephrase hung giboldan he yet naman he so ipizi a clear zo boy hasima sima right strategy ay adopt bangin even though although so yet he ko although na even though na so naman yet to context to kito error license option 3. Abana Kochi's solid waste management apparatus is too tenuous for the amount of waste it produces, and the Brahmapuram waste to energy plant is dysfunctional. Suzong hivelawhan is simle. Kochi's ti sim takale try le jun sim na jun TO hi no overlook had so. Nalungge la chu TO dana na simmate na bang jun is too tenuous kya na simmate so. TO chu na muthaw but nalungge la na sima chu TO chi to to. Tibe sang hi hungnum na TO hi so. Very teenage two na ele sita mga akidong mun last video ko sa itali kilomin HCQ hello OFF TOO OFF off ITS IT apostrophe S hitiho manili nga chihong kimang tiho manili chi kimang aum numzi ka tisna sita mga so chihong here error license option B. Question 15. 15 p.m. After he had finished his speech, the audience stood up and applauded, showing their appreciation for what was clearly one of the best presentations they have ever seen. Attend civilian had finished past tense, stood up past tense, applauded past tense, was past tense, ay mga they have. They had. So parallelism based sentence. Error license option D. Have loading. Had. Na past context I can say is that. Abana question 16. The chief executive officer of the corporation along with Tizong he subject verb base. Subject 1 na. CCC subject 1 too. Subject 1 along with the legal consultants and the entire board of directors. Subject 2 to sawa sound na. Ele. To ibet na hinechun. Tamu hito na. A decide ball to kayham. Abon ba hito. Silay masanga CC hito. Ahiba nga along with as well as together with hono mo pat ni geldo dito piham. The verb always agrees with the first subject. First subject pimam sila. The chief executive officer kat bozo. Sisi ato singular verb naman din. Option C. Have hello de. Has so idea. Option C. Na. Abana question 17. Not only did the investigative journalists uncover a massive financial scam involving the local ministry, but she also provides several documents to the police yesterday. Says he not only did helping verb abana subject abana main verb dito. Ele adi daw dito piham. Did unta past tense uncover to ele helping verb past upon siya to base for na buy daw. But she also to past tense sama hele provides parallelism so yesterday zan hito ki say provides it should be provided. Option 4. Abana, if I were him, I would have taught those streets a lesson. Ama ako na hilang na dito. Tun beta. I punish him. I punish him hitham. I subject. Action to be punish verb. Koi ham ka punish. Receiver of the action to objective form him di ito. Ele tuhin if I were him kiti hu sentence I belew hin. I hin action na bola him hin a receive ham. Hilaw ito na. Ama hu ke hilen at iso. Ke hilen at iya ama hin action na bol hilaw ito. Sisi ato ama ni subject second definition of subject to piham tiya hilen. Subject kiti to sentence kana subject kiti to door of the action ay lawa hilen. Anina definition to piham hilen. The person or the thing talk about ito. Ele to hi ama to ama hi tu kisay ito na. Kung man actionable, kung man receivable, sila ito apan man hanti diam adin man nakiba ngay subjective form, sisong subjective form man ko ngay him hilauding he if I were he. So bang to kasi mga normalized kibol be sila. If I were him, if I were her na kimang to. But she netide, he netide. Subjective form ang ngay. Abana 19. Everyone is keen in knowing the forecast for the monsoon this year, as it has been the major cause of inflation in Asia. Everyone singular, indefinite pronounced singular is ala keen. Keen to ipiham interested. In kimangilo so keen zawahi ipiham kipir reading to know infinitive form na ko to know the natidi license option A. Abana 20. The Union Health Minister said that there was an acute shortage of health personnel in rural areas who needed to be addressed urgently. Kisong Hibelewhan said that past tense there was an acute singular his awa sa mandita personal in rural areas sa panahon ni de. Ipiham address ball dito. Koy ham address ball di. Me to address ball dito. Hiti problem an acute shortage of health personnel. Hiti shortage pa ko address ball ang ngay dito. Person to na sisa to who naman hilaw dito. Ipi man diuhan. Which needed to be addressed urgently. Even though most of the India's youth lives in villages, many people considers the once roaming and dazzling multiplexes as their true reflection. Si Valeuhan, subject verb based mama. Most of India's youth to collective na general forma lives dito. Ale. Aba nahi many people. People dito plural hito. Plural verb hindi nga s sound ang ngay. Na plural hito s na lado di. Consider option B. Aba na 22. Unless these differences will be resolved soon, there will be an adverse effect on foreign investment. Error kido dan kalipiham tiya na. Sentence ka model ni very unnecessary model ni kimang hong beta. So tabang he. Amnan you will not pass the exam unless you will study hard my low. So unless you study hard sita bang so unless these differences you will be the present context sa kisay niya are naman dito. Unless you study hard tabang na. Unless these differences are resolved soon with double model ito. Option B. 23. At a time which most firms were finding it difficult to raise money, we succeeded in raising the necessary funds. Part A hivita. At a time kiti to part hito, which kimang ngay na, when naman law diyo. Option A. 24. The captain along with his team members were given a grand welcome. Aso kasayta, subject 1 plus subject 1 along with subject 2 here. The verb agrees with first subject. The captain singular name siyatu where loading was. License option C. 25. She is more taller than any other girl in her class. As I say, penu any other to compare di kito di tas na sorry. Any other compared to dita. Let's see no similar to like she is more taller asangzo tis na. Ala taller kititun comparative hi apondo ta to. Out ya hile more gahap ngay law. This is unnecessary. So I realize in option B. 26. Although he worked hard, but he could not win the prize. Tizong hi banking question na common ta kat kidong z past question ho ibet na hile. Although kiti hi but to him per num bet na. Although he worked hard, but he worked although zawla he worked hard but he could not atili to di ito but although naman na hili sila but naman very unnecessary ta so ipi man diuham he worked hard but he thelo so na piha anahapan bang chun he could not win the prize but ngai lawazi on he iti ham kha aman nung de dia he but khela so yet man the cha na but khela yet man the although he worked hard yet still dine so he could not win the prize na license option C. 27. Neither the manager nor the employees was aware of the rules. Rule of proximity last video part 2 kasi tayo. Neither subject 1 nor subject 2 kitiya hele. Rule of proximity verb to koy to kiniyam sidung zuya to verb lading. And ito verb ini hui piha was. Koy to kiniyam employees plural zuya to was hikay loading. It should be where. Option 4. The greater the demand, higher the price. Ipikitiziya. Tilkhat to agan sa napahe natiding ahel ipikitiziya. The sooner, better kitiziya. The sooner, the better dito. The parallelism of my to. The greater the demand, the higher the price. Option C. Na, incomplete. I have to. 29. More than one student have taken the interview for this company. See subject verb base ahin na. A meaning base sa kivelo, structure base momo. More than one kimang singular vet sa one chun. Kuta hila singular student kimang ta singular. Ele subject singular here hila chun subject verb argument dung zia allow hilo verb so singular hingai so have loading has. So error lies in option 2. In spite of facing much problems, he did not falter from his path. In spite of this, na despite of the kimang telo ya chika to data a d. And problems kiti countable so zito tang hivela chun sentence ang problems plural form am so countable hitna. Kutia hile countable ato much kimang nilo. Hiti ipya kimang ziham uncountable noun na kimang so. To countable here chun much kela many problems. Option B. Abana 31. He does not have some money to buy a new printing machine. He does not have. He has some money to them. Them khat anay na. Sumi anay so is that nay ham them khat di so. Elatun anay po itaute. He does not. He does not have to them. He does not have some. Amy pausing azong na. Amy pausing nga lindo. He has some money. Sum them khat anay. He does not have the anay lo to na kisim tayong at na nay to na si mathem khat na detail na nay lo to kisim tay lo so some na detail na sum them na nay lo phat sum them khat ka nay boy kiti lo to I don't have some money kiti ngilo I don't have any na ti lo na si ja to some naman tay lo to negative ay na some loading a neutral pa any naman option B. Scarcely had the nurse left after examining him then the patient died. First lang nga isay tawin, scarcely he imupat le ipipivot yung rule of inversion, helping verb, subject, main verb, part A, no error. Ala ipito kipiram, then sukoy to kipir dyan, no sooner than hello date should be when. Na, option C. Kung ginoon, team de. Samir as well as his wife. Samir chuta le zinu zong na tin zo di chu en naman zong le builaw as well as namang zong le along with nanup naman the na ahiwa nga both naman zia chu en naman dating ay both to en hinapair dating exam ay alhang pa en kela hi pi hung kimang ding as well as along with yung meta ani niya ipha importance na pi ba kibang hita so zia as well as along with kiti telo so and naman dating both should always be paired with and na so zia option A so here lahi and Abana 34, global warming is making threatening changes in our world and we should prefer green energy than conventional sources of energy. Part 3, part alipak saytain. Prefer kitihi ipito kiper ziyam, then to kiper taylaw, to kiper ditiw. So air license option D. 35. The team of researchers from Australia, researchers plural, are plural tirelessly to uncover the mysteries of the ancient civilization. Diam. Ay, sorry. Si di daw piana. The researchers tila to are dito but the team researchers is that ham khatong and they form a team and we're talking about the team na hiti team khat thu to collective noun main subject to team hita so are loading it should be is na option B so it tempting hito simzom na team na himna researchers dung jan na are to di sing na chi main na chi pai collective noun ki mang pa so ki overlook kha the yo the company's annual profits have rose significantly since the new CEO took over last year in April. The company's annual profits, plural, have plural dito. Ele, amandan, he has or have or had so ako, verb na perfect hizi ako. Amnan, so I have did my homework natitilo. So I have done natitilo. Right na. Sita ba nga to third form naman na din nga, have, rise, loading. It should be rising. Option A. Abana 37, Chief Minister of the State has announced 5 lakhs rupees compensation for the family of those killed in the flood and rain. Chief Minister of the State singular has singular announced present perfect data. Ele ipiham announce compensation noun data. Ele is that compensation ham itabang compensation ham atia hilatun hitihin adjective role play tato. Na tizi atu as I say, adjective has no plural form. It is at 5 lakhs. It should be 5 lakh. No. Option B. 38. The number of foreign tourists visiting India are increasing day by day during this tourist season. As I say, the number of akitipo pahile subject to plural hong hinabeta. Ahibanga to verb is always singular. Option B. 39. Sheila's passion for painting and sketching have won her numerous awards and recognition. Ipiham, hitilaya amnanju, hiti ko ham verb here. Sketching aham, painting aham, a passion aham. Ipitun, what won her numerous awards and recognition? A sketching hilaw, a painting hilaw, a patient pa. So patient kiti to uncountable hintin, singular verb lang. Oh, have loading it should be, has error license option B. Abana 40. The company is in debt. Say he'll no bega say that. In depth it is now, but depth it is hello. So pronunciation he focus bang sa ipon na grammar ni focus ito hisong le. Common na hiza so imuto kan ga say to here. Depth kiting ilo so depth ito aban la dang kan ga say la. Common kan. Receipt it is na. Hit hello so receipt asang ko tita banga hi. Tilaya ti B nala do debt kaya na pronounce bang ako receipt kiting ilo P nala do ding receipt na tidio si command khat hiya to say to say bang ato spoken ato I don't think I'm the right person na nang ahil dia to right person bang ko hipon sang commonly confused did ham mispronounce khat hiya to can say to him the company is in debt and has been singular data unable to pay subject singular verb singular singular to pay pronouns ang singular hingay to the parallelism of na dinga. So there hilay pi man thewang. Company dinga singular pronoun to its. Na his har na titelo so company ato azi to gender na ilo. It's na tinga option C na. 41. William could not went to the alumni function as he was on his office tour to London for the next 2 weeks. Could not went. Hiti 2 verbs concept ho. Tilaya hi veleuton could not menahi verb nium to. Tizong hi verb. When kiti action pa hi main verb hintin, hiti helping verb kiti to. Helping verb kiti to main verb akit hupi dito ni hito. Ala kit hupi di nga hile tense upon pi dito. Could ahihin ken piziaken kimang loham past tense hizi akut kimang to. Kudila past tense hi kiheta atu main verb to. Aga kipon kit ngay lo v2 agom kel ka ngay lo na. Base form original palm which will be when loading it should be go. Could not go. Option 1. Abana 42. To avoid any inconvenience, customers are requested to not share their account details with anyone. See, arrangement base ito. Overlook ka mo mong na. Isim simahili. To not, di izing ito. Ay mga to not structure kiti mo mong umthelo ito. Narration hang po. Option akong kipintin. Adang sa usi kibang di. Kat ko to not agol di. Kat ko not to. Apet ako confusing zito. Tizi ato ipiham akidong mun bayzang le na. Commonly. aki he heal by num ti hot ong hi to not hit he lo chi hi adi lo pa no a structure d to not to so error lies in option C. 43. The guide told us that where this island was and the guide told us that where the island was and went on narrating its history. The guide told us that asay to piham that where kiti ki mangkom tailo to. Ipiti ile to hi iti mat divide appropriate. So the guide told us that the island was dash and dash atilo follow, but a place is easy who where about to naman dating that here necessary. No. The guide told us where the island was. Option B. 44. The perception of security held by the power elites tend to ignore the basic reality that contradictions of civil society have grown since the nuclear explosion. The perception of security. Perception. It's over. Who or what tends to ignore the basic reality it's a perception na main subject to perception belatun singular so if you manduham tends is sound on my singular hinadinga na tends to option A. Abana 45. Gulliver's Travels are a must read for all the book lovers out there because travels ibit ahila plural to kilaw na are di danin ko iti amnan so ele sila singular a aman must read to buhi na so lang para ele it kitihi ko ha Gulliver's Travels ko ito just name of a book na kiti in plural hibit sa law to it's the name of a single book of one book na sila to are naman tailor it should be is na 20 minutes are allotted to each team to place their arguments, after which Mr. Chairman will give the final verdict. 20 minutes kiti JP measuring unit of time. Measuring unit kiti popo be it height, be it distance, be it weight na. Measuring unit kiti popo he. Ita ba in terms of singular na so 20 minutes are ngailo it should be is option A. Abana 47. Many a question have arisen out of the recent issue of what happened in Peace Hospital last week. Part A hibalewhan many a question many it is so tam de so ahi banga many zo IP manam A man so A chini pivot sam 1 singular vesa khoti ahila question singular form amta singular hingai has option A. Abana tizong hita Satan. Every student and every teacher have to join hands to make Akash sir's last day in school a memorable one for the rest of his life. Every zawa of azawlopo hilatun singular hiding. Every zawa singular data. Ele hit to each and every concept subject verb base mama. Each and every in sentence kana his subject initiate and ball pad. Akipat na hong umban pad le. Ipitabayin hap biyang letun. Amnan so every man and every woman tizong letun. Si singular fix sound dito hence dito option A. 49. Neither my uncle nor I is responsible in any way for what happened to Rohan last night at the party. Neither subject 1 nor subject 2. Kiti ho ato ipiki mga rule of proximity by heart dilibaw kasi ito na. So by heart din. Rule of proximity is really by easy ko ito kinaya verb mo pen. Ko ito kinaya. Uncle subject 1, I subject 2. I tun ipi-verb la niya. Eh malalaw yung I is kititelo sila na. Nor I am responsible. Option B. A good son and responsible citizen have lost his life in yesterday's bombings done by the miscreants to disrupt peace in the neighborhood. A good son. Mi katita. Aba not responsible citizen. Mi ni ham mi kat ham het na di ba chong he kasi chintay Article A in the possessive adjective my, his, her, your, are, there. So ko akiman pat lekun meaning say masang yo. Sa A hap tejo. A good son and a responsible citizen tejo. Ay mga ipizya say lo ham at yai lo. Common common ala ito. Hiji responsible to good quality hiji teni hi description pa hi mi khat hiji ato common ala the. A abela zi kilo. Hiji ato same person has hide. Tun a good son and a responsible citizen tilajon A na mahile mini kisay na hong hiding have naman kayo na. Tabang to ile article khat bawki mga ato singular tila has na. pluralize ni bol thilo de zi chilai singular form man ja chu amna chu answer correct answer zi di bang vel hitel chun chilai hi singular man chu chi ja chu a zong na hap thai di loading instead verb zo hi singularize ni bol de ne chu error lies in option 1. 51. The teacher instructed the class to look into the dictionary for the difficult words in the passage. Difficult words amuho to dictionary avet diu hol diu tini hicho ele look into kiti hu pisay nam. The police are looking into the matter na natia hila ipisay na investigate about tini hicho gahul til tidham gahul tu pa ko to investigate look into tini hicho ele to man say pa chu dictionary aga hold diu na aga search diu atini hicho sija chu look into it should be look up na. Option B. 52. The meeting has been put on until next week because of the strike. To say he strike umzi atu next week chana ding in meeting to cancel a put ati zo put on kiti to totally context kiti lo zo ipi hungi dia put off kiti zi na put off dia ila chun postpone keyboard na cancel keyboard put for the time being. Option B. 53. She avoided to visit after the incident that had happened at his place. Di sama. You should avoid to smoke. Kitingay los na. You should avoid ipikidizam smoking gitiziso. Avoid gitizo ing na follow dito. She avoided visiting. Option A. During the summer camp, many children explored nature, go on hikes, and learned about wildlife in the forest. Summer camp sungatu, many children explored past tense, go present tense, learn past tense. Ele ipiham awat penso. Siyong it is a past tense ano ko na parallelism of na dinga. So option C. 55. Azwa ka say tayo na. A base to base bang chilawa. Every azwa chu off azaw lo po hile singular hiditius na children kitlaw child di ta to singular. Ele ti singular ama hile verb should also be singular. Deserves as sound ngay na singular hinadinga. Abana 56. After a long day at work, Sarah sat down with a book, enjoying the quiet evening with 2 cups of tea. After a long day at work, sat down past tense with a book, enjoying the cup is not 2. Teas kiting ya 2 cups of tea kiting ya pina plural is only a cup pa so increase na ball teas na tin it should be tea. Teas hi alang pia different types a variety say di pala teas su kimang tawa na but a number na refer di pala teas gangay daw fish tabang type na 1 fish 100 fish ito but a species a type na say di nga fishes naman tay so tabang suso. So I realize in option A. 57. Garima had to repeat again the instructions in order to ensure that everyone understood the task. Ipi sayam Garima sun ipi bol ngay atiham instructions avela say kit ngay atiso. Repeat kiti so say kit say again do again give again na avail again tini hito. Sisi atu repeat naman na hili again this is unnecessary superfluous repeat again natila say again unnecessary hita. So option 2 superfluous base na. 58. With the increase in the human population, there is a lot of demand to food, clothing, housing, fuels, vehicles, etc. With the increase in human population, there is a lot of demand. Ipiham, namnan so, koi ko maki demand ham to na. A receiver of the demand to mahila to 2 naman ke. So but to ipiham maki demand so food, clothing, housing, fuels, vehicles, etc. 2 naman it should be 4. Demand 4 na. Option D. Abana 59. With change come the fear of losing it, provided it was a pleasant one, and the fear of permanence, had it been an unpleasant one. Subject verb base mga kito. Provided kala if at yun na conditional that to iwas amana if it had been past for mabo na kwento dito. And let's say with change to ipito hong tam the fear of losing it. Hiti the fear of losing it hito tikam kimang pahe. The fear singular comes come loading with change comes the fear of losing it. Option 1. 60. The restaurant uses some kind of packaged stock in all its in all its soaps, and I find it too much salty for my taste. kasi lo ham sa po. Too much. Hi ipito ki man thadi ham naung to naman. Am nan so si hal ha hi na tiri nga hi chun. Don't put too much salt na details. Na. Di chu. Azi chu salt to noun hito. Ele much to chi pya ki mang ziam tile adjective to ki pair zi ki to. Ele ita banga panding ham tia chun. The curry was elzip aha ele na tiding ah chun salty naman ngai ta cho. Ele chila hi two bobo zong naman the cho boilo ai banga much naman te nu mai too much hi the lo ding it should be much too salty. So a basic a main concept to become too much followed by noun, much too followed by adjective. Hon bang much hi get zi talo pina too man phal too salty bo ki tia but net the common low but correct di much too naman the. Le to chu pi ha si go cho. Option D. Sorry, C na. Find it much too salty. Arrange na molde iti much na kada too salty na tiyong na ko pi but naman dili much too na. Option C. 61. The lecture on the history of text law was delivered in a monotone voice and with an absence of engaging visual aids, making it a fairly dull and uninspiring experience for the audience. See fairly concising your concept. Fairly kiti hi ipiaki mangziam. Adjective naman na hila positive to positive to na pair ngai fairly positive to na pair taking it. The question was fairly easy na tila positive so naman the. Ay banga negative difficult itaw te. Negative naman din nga hila fairly naman daw di ipin naman din rather naman ngai the question was rather difficult ham na natite. Fairly positive rather negative. Si SSI command belo bank nga bang command taway na. Fairly positive rather negative. Option C. C here rather na. 62. In the tragic aftermath of war, the civilians were abominably treated by the occupying forces, leaving scars that endure for generations. Ala sapan ga ute. Endure to kaya ham scars plural dita. In the tragic aftermath of war, the civilians were plural di. Ele amo to treated verb so ipiti ki treat ham abominably na tingay so adverb so ly na ngai na ly form ngai abominably ti ala horribly ti dita so na horrible nan so horrible treated na ti tabang ya horribly na tingay so na ly adverb form na ko so option B. 62. She is greater enough to inspire change in the world. Her passion, leadership, and determination make her a force to be reckoned with, and her impact is undeniable. Si mi khat ko nga na say pala, you are smart enough natizam, you are smarter enough kitizam. Ko man smarter enough atilaw pina. Smarter tipya greater comparative akimang so. To at nga na sa ibo. So no comparison so great naman dio. Comparative it hello ding it should be positive degree na great enough natigya option A. 64. With the dropping valuations and unavailability of funding, firms are finding it hardly to grow without burning capital or going omni-channel in a big way. See hardly I find it so can insert he po ilole haka sign it ipal I find it hardly kiting ilo pina azo kasi hardly to frequency kasi na to almost never, rarely tinig so I find it hard na tidig sita mga so firms are finding it hard. LY nga ilo option C. 65. The news of the minister's resignation have taken the political circle by surprise, prompting speculation about a cabinet reshuffle. The news subject verb ti siya ipiam ti have imano so news kiti so uncountable hintin singular verb lang ngay so option B. Several informations about the project were missing from the report submitted to the board by the research team. Information kitizong uncountable na uncountable hito. Sisi ato informations thelo de singularized na bol de. Ele a rule several rules upyam. Several is always followed by plural verb so I mean plural subject. electric uncountable hi ja chu s na la do ta na singular form am ding ele hi ta hi di the di ham singular is na bol di the di ham na vet na dinga chu verb hi pi mana plural man cho where ji a chu healthy hi ta le chun several informations na ti loading pluralize na bol the na dinga several pieces of information na ti pieces plural hita where plural hita na pluralism hita sa cho option 1 correct answer hoy concept na dia isay thu ya exam aki dong hidi daw na. The company along with its subsidiaries have been accused of manipulating the financial data in order to attract more investors. Company along subject 1 along with subject 2 verb agrees with first subject the company singular so have loading it should be has error license option 2. 60. The data collected during the research was analyzed thoroughly before the report was finalized and submitted to the funding agency. The data kitihi singular ham plural ham. Data kitihi plural hi bauto. Singular form chipidia data. Not common na. To modern English abang data kitihi collective noun akila zintin singular akiman zong tam pa so ahi banga traditional grammar rule is reading ahile it has its own singular form and plural form so plural akiman na lesson why not use the verb na akiba api naman dating right so the data collected during the research where option B sivang controversial kabili singular kiman accepted hong hina hong dito kasi ba traditional rules usi modern English abang normalize ki bolta so data singular form akiman na zong tam but to traditional rule follow ahile where la di ba. Every student in the batch is expected to submit his or her assignments by the end of this week without fail. Parallelism based on subject verb pronoun bulletin. Every si ga say nga a concept ni na na bit sao ngai lo. Every na mo hile off azaw lo pa hile si singular hi ngai to. Every student naman ngai to. Ele tsun het thelo ta hi song le students plural is singular, he singular, her singular na. Sila nga ho singular naman ahile. Sila nga zong singularize na bo nga so every student hitang sun het thelo ahile. Sila nga ho ko besaw lo azong every aki pa tun mo ahile sin het pe kasi mga concept na clear ahile sila ko BCD na vet ngai lo na. Sa ni het jing thito. 70. Despite of his repeated assurances, the project manager failed to meet the deadline set by the board of directors. Despite of kimang kom ngayon. In spite of to hitay. Na. In spite of hitay. But despite naman nahili, off naman thelaw ding. So, this is correct answer pa so possible ni umtay. Error license option 1. 71. The reasons he gave for his sudden resignation was neither convincing nor logical and left the board members puzzled. Puzzled confused din na. That's a very common word for SSC. Confused din ito. The reasons he gave. Ele to ahi bata. Neither to nor compared to dito. Ay mga ipito ham. Convincing lawat dito. Reasons is all. This is plural. Puti ahila was naman kilo. It should be where na. Option B. 72. Rule of proximity. Neither subject 1 nor subject 2. Where ko ito kinayam teacher to kinay singular lamay na. Was present. Option B. Sabo na sim hong keke ngay lo. Koy manong gidal palo. Abo na sim. Min. A question set ho to nam nanso. Itile confuse them. Itile na. They. Piha. Question na naman na din ako. Min sentence out atan pidin. So. Piha. Concept ni clear lo ahile. You'll have to go through all the parts na. So, ngaylaw din kun concept clear dito. The lawyer said, past tense, there was singular, insufficient evidences. Ele, tihibatan hit, so was is singular to evidences plural. Hit hello so na. Ele, there were kitidam. Uncountable noun hit lawa hila where natika may te, natik may te. Ahi ba nga evidence kitihi, uncountable noun. Uncountable noun to, no plural form. Evidences umthelo. Evidence ide. Option B. No sooner azo kasi main check kita te. No sooner helping verb subject main verb adi tay na. A ka so structure di ta. Ile ipito kiperti ba? Then to kiperti na. When hithelo ding. Then so puti le CD ka bet ngai telaw na. Say mga to concept na clear po shortcut om saibo to. Atuma gasim shortcut gasim to dito hithelo. Tisa nga zong concept na clear ahile ne approach dan zoom cut nang mao na shortcut ti diham cut hong beta itip na to kigang te speed pagang te na that's a familiarity concept clarity ngai mo ele each of the paintings one of each of every of either of neither of akiman patle subject plural singular verb kiti paintings plural verb singular hingai should be was option B. 76 if he had informed us earlier about to plan the transition about the plan to transition chika his structure bang di here okay as adi thei zam here ai bang chu chi pi be song idiam tele if he had informed us na chi pi ha if he had informed us to past perfect we would have helped him to zong perfect di to is a conditional base sentence di so options sorry no error option E di so like ka bang structure hi di daw tin khabe go chwa to adi lo to ka het na but correction man daw kabel bet man daw it. The recent amendments to the copyright legislation aims to balance the interests of individual creators with those of large digital platforms which often monetize content without proper attribution. Amendments plural to the copyright legislation aims s sound singular to plural hizia to aim ahimay na option B. Abana 78 as part of the diplomatic efforts to stabilize the region the foreign minister subject 1 introduced Kibol along with his security advisor subject 2 verb agrees with first subject where hilauding was ipiziaham foreign minister to main subject akila na so air license option B. Sorry C so ay nakam C 3 7 to 9 neither subject 1 neither subject 1 the aggressive monetary policies introduced by the central bank to main subject nor the revised fiscal measures plural verb has loading have a 9 na as ito ti main na ti plural hiya rule of proximity kasi yun have option C. 80 if the committee were truly concerned about transparency, it would have released all the records pertaining to the investigation instead of issuing summaries that raise more suspicion than clarity. Committee kidi collective noun so. Collective noun kiti to always generally generally thang pia singular verb la division of lawa hindi. Tun village division imatam lang to general rule pass rating was na the option A. 81 the archaeological findings unearthed from the excavation site not only reveal hi ko yaham ka bitidute finding site na plural ziute plural zong plural data not only zoapi huma important facts about ancient tribal cultures but also challenges hitihi kaya findings sama mahito reveal plural naman subject plural hitila chong pluralize na bowling ay challenges na challenge na plural form na ko ngay option C. The report, which was intended to outline a sustainable recovery framework, failed to acknowledge that many local singular failed past tense acknowledge many local economies plural are plural on traditional livelihoods. Sila has who kaya ham livelihood sa na si plural hizi atu has kila it should be have option D. 83 a number of azwa kasaytan a great number of a large number of the plural hitated dito na a number of surveys conducted across suggest plural hita that dito na say ka so that subject hakat introduce and bulk online assessments at hakat umta na despite their flexibility do not Plural D. Ele. Do not accurately measure a student's conceptual understanding and encourages assessment sama matna. So pluralize the bolding encourages learning should be encourage option D. 84. Although several researchers argue plural data that will revolutionize healthcare, abana sila a subject introduced in market. The manner in which it is singular currently being implemented indicate. Ipitin ay indicate ham. Na. What indicates a tendency to prioritize automation? Manner hito. Na. Singular indicates singular is my option. C na. Question 85. The principal concern expressed during the summit was singular data in electoral institutions which neither the political subject 1 nor subject 2. Subject 1 nor subject 2 pala rule of proximity use na. Let's say have you subject 1 dung ala di ham subject 2 dung ala judiciary unfound singular form out sia to have loading it should be has option D. Now, while the intentions behind the policy appear noble, intentions plural appear plural data, and its execution singular so far singular data. Plagued with bureaucratic delays and inconsistent directives, which has only exacerbated public frustration. Si pluralism usuk kita sunat selai kah he, and so happy huma. Verb kat hum ipichu ham. What has only exacerbated public frustration iti ahilachun it's iso. Among relative pronoun umpat na aban set apa he a verb hikoya hisiam. Amasang set antecedent subject ahi ki depends iso. That to directives plural here has loading it should be have plural na. Option D. Bana 87. The number of young professionals applying for remote work opportunities have increased significantly over the past year owing to improved connectivity and changing lifestyle preferences. Kasi mga concept na clear ahile, the number of nagyaldo ahile, singular verb using dito. The number of CD noun plural dita, ele verb singular himang have loading it should be has. AP pen his own concept clear my mama. Abana, a team of experts investigating the collapse of the century-old bridge over the river. So, a team of experts. Experts utam dito. But, team kat afo mo so, collective noun hintin. Collective nouns unless division ang blawa po powa hindi so singular ah. Sige, puti ay have it should be has na. Oh, sorry. Sige, sabang he. Oh, has it how dito. That will overlook kibol pa so past tense ay na. So has it have loading has singular form and as it to team collective noun. Option C. Abana 89. The recent merger between the two global conglomerates were seen as a strategic move to counter the growing influence of regional players in the Southeast Asian markets. Between verb ipiham what were seen as a strategic move. Hiti two global conglomerates teni kika merger umpen hikiti so it's singular hello na pwede hello where hello din was hingay air license option 2. Citizens plural who had been waiting in queues for hours, citizens plural were dito plural na to discover that the tickets subject ta home ta ipiham akizu to what was completely sold out tickets sorry this is plural na where hingay so was loading where option D. '91. Not only the opposition leaders but also the ruling party spokesperson have raised concerns. Not only subject 1 but also subject 2 so ipikibang siya rule of proximity. And sila not only so ipima opposition leaders plural hito. Plural hina subject 1 to. And ito also to the ruling party's spokesperson. Spokesperson kat hito singular si subject 2. Rule of proximity is really to sidung ziya tingay. Putile have loading has. Option B. Abana 92, one of the main reasons, one of rules of Geldo Vinlang, one of followed by plural subject data behind the failure of this scheme, singular data, is singular verb lazi data. Officials responsible for implementation were not properly briefed officials or plural data about its objectives and expected outcomes. Dizing sila na. No error, hindi case. No error. Oh, slide take time. No error. 93. Although the startup received several rounds of funding and built a strong user base, it was unable to scale its operations rapidly enough and ends up being acquired by a competitor. Although the startup received several rounds of funding and built a strong user base, it was unable, its startup singular, unable to scale its scale base form to infinitive its singular pala na singular subject operations rapidly. So verb rapidly enough and na built, received, was abo na past tense and to present tense. Past form ano ko yan, parallelism based on tense na ended up being acquired, option D. 94. In professional debates, the participants are expected to listen. Professional debates ako, participants at ito na, mizan ida. A participants ho who at ito, participants teni at ilo so na. Ho who at ito, this is plural na. Are man to dita. So to listen to each other. Each other kitihi mini till niya na say pala each other naman so. Talk about the participants kiti to two hinay sa ilaw dito. Both the participants kiti to specific ani follow each other. To plural hizya to, I mean plural 2 plus a hizya to each other kailaku one another's viewpoints. Option B. Me and my colleagues have been invited to present our findings before the parliamentary subcommittee in the final hearing of the session. Tuahi amnan so invitation received na hizya to me na gelen di mate hito to concept ato ay mga hilaw to subject aman to na me and my colleagues kito subject introducible na aman ya siya to me naman hilaw di ipi man ngayam I naman di ele I and my colleagues kiti tay di law arrangement na so ito di nga to my colleagues and I. Option A. It was the most unique approach the startup had taken in tackling a problem that had baffled even the most experienced engineer. Unique kiti hi, absolute term hita. So perfect ho tabang, everlasting kiti ho tabang na. Absolute term kiti to more most na haptelo. Siya to ti unnecessary. It was the unique, no, possible answer tam ding na rephrase na bolte but ipito ila most na pansalaw din na. More zong hitelo. Option A. Adang dang sa nga absolute term hi unique hikihado umuntaw he. Past question ho ibet ahida na. Unique, more, most kimang pamtelo na. 97. Rarely the ministry has issued a report that directly criticizes internal procedures, especially in high-stake corruption cases. Hitihi, abula kasi ato, hardly, barely, rarely, scarcely, abo na, kipat pale, rule of inversion, itik masat pendi which na. Ito yung rule of inversion, beletun piha. Rarely has helping verb sila yung subject sila yung main verb sila yung hitelo. A rule to easy due to pita. Helping verb masading, kitula has yung kidding. Abana, the ministry na. Si interchange na mo, option A. Ay mga sila when na mo kilaw so te di hilaw to. Akipare pipa ko when hiladen akipare. Adang akipare pa ko dilaw ya. At context, a sentence context nan po de. So umlong sa hap ni nang ko ma law so rule hiti concept ni sun hena error na mo ta na so pata so. 98. He was so emotionally invested verb, how invested emotionally at verb data in the outcome of the experiment that he couldn't hardly contain. Hardly, barely, negative to na, buo na he. So he negative yu to. Tizi to nothing, not. Negative to naman form kinai kun double negative at sintin positive kisu ala aton context to kitu zi telaw di telaw negative kiti mong to naman form telaw so sisi ato bata he could not hardly naman na sila could not man ngai telaw positive form man pwede he could hardly kanti na option C. Chi concept chi bo bo hilo ha song double negative momong hi thelo so English grammar concept dang zong beta double negative chu hi thei zilo. Only after the final draft was submitted song kasay tayo. Hardly, barely, scarcely wang only after kasi lang pag kamil po na only after ang he rule of inversion na follow dito. So only after zawa helping verb na masasadi was he sila yung umding was the final draft submitted ko tila BCD don may tilo time waste na beb na aba na 100 she was enough experience as well kasi ta experience enough interchange na ball din na option A. The dignitaries who had been waiting patiently for over an hour finally left venue when they realized the chief guest will not arrive. Dignitaries past tense had been so had to build so past tense is a singular has have gaki full na past tense had data for over an hour finally left had pass left pass putili bil ngai lo so pass for man ko ngai na attends ki ba na niya so option D. 2 he hardly as I said away he hardly negative ngai lo spoke a word option A. Less iman pat ule subject plus base form ham less subject plus should plus base form na short ho IG real ho ko kasi mi talaga naman sa katina pa na video ka ay vet ba kim kaya di nga expect lo dito kasi so to hiji pen to ta ka refer diha yung example hi say data nga sentence less na mo hile subject zawa base form naman ding ay lawa hile model naman nung ta hile should naman na subject is singular hi may the plural hi may the ito past tense ipi context yung le verb naman pa base form hiti kaya chi structure to less you can forget the deadline can naman hidi lo so naman ding na should naman di man lawasong so ite less you forget the deadline na tithe less you should forget the deadline song na tithe ano niya possible intin model dang naman the daw should naman tithe di ba na common mistake not to hong kimang form nung ding so song hindi daw this or this either this or that this na site ni khat pen hising a structure to option 1. An European diplomat addressed the delegates highlighting how unity in global climate action is more crucial than ever. European kiti hi belaton a letter hi vowel so ahi banga a sound European vowel sound hello so a kiti zito ho misconcept to him MLA even M2 plural plural consonant hito ahi banga a sound to M vowel sound to kipat na to siya ko a MLA kiti an kimang na so tabang so option 1. University hong ko an university giting ilo a university na. The manager spoke not only to the team leaders but also the clients too but as why I say because say preparing not only zawai piuma to uma abana subject unso let's lie veletun but also zawai piuma to lo to nan ju to hi hitiwa hi akoya hi letun komanala kha hi letun kho lo to di izing the to but to hi achuma not only zawan koile to hi koya ham the team abo putile clients are ding azong to achuma na ko ngai tin na but also to the clients who were involved option C. She was unaware that the final invoice had already been sent out and hence she kept waiting for a update so simong le first reading ang het tasing na an update option 4 kisay data 7 ako between na mo hile ni heading cut so you're talking about two things or two persons tayo beta multiple designs multiple kiti so two sangatam te ite dita mga tam dito ni so sisi achu between naman thelo ipi naman ding more than two akong hiya hile among naman na option A. He had been working in the field for decades yet neither recognition nor appreciation were ever granted to him. Neither subject 1 nor subject 2. Rule of proximity wherein koidung siya verb la ding ham appreciation singular was D. Although the district administration had deployed additional forces after the initial incident, it was still reported that the violence has been spreading in adjoining areas due to political unrest. Had deployed past tense has it hello this na had hingay this aten sung ki ba ndi nga chu had been spreading na tens ki ba ngay. Option C. She was exhausted because she was working continuously for more than 12 hours without a break, especially since the inspection team arrived in the morning. Exhausted because she was working continuously for more than 12 hours without a break, especially since the inspection team arrived in the morning. Chiveta. Ipiza exhausted him for more than 12 hours without a break. 12 hours masangapat at hung kipana and hiti asapit present bang hello na hiti asapit ang she's still working kinis ing ako itiya na 12 hours masangakipan and hiti ing form ang focus sa hilatun action kipanta perfect hiding abana continuous ani niya lang ngay ala past context is ato past perfect continuous hiding kutiya hila was hila he had been working na option B. Although she had taught in several prestigious universities before joining this institute in 2019, she was continues to play the same level of humility and dedication. Had taught past tense saman, jisong past tense saman. Put it a whole sentence so past it was continues it hello sula. Simple ako like na. She continued. If the manager had listened carefully to the employee's suggestions, the project would not delay. Had listened, past perfect, jisong perfect forma, would not have, perfect ano ko have, the project would not have delayed na, option B. Perfect, conditional hai ochi. Sorry. The student had hardly completed the final paragraph of his essay when the invigilator had asked him to submit the paper immediately. Sentence kata aniya perfect kiti. Ando azo conditional ato le pera ti ato aniya perfect hingay. To hivelatun. The student had hardly completed. I hardly reached the station when the train had left hingay lo to. Action ni na say to ama sapa to perfect amding. Akitsay masapa abana pa to simple amding na. Sita banga to hoy ti masam had complete ita to. The student had hardly completed. It's a perfect form ako ya hili. Sila nga when zawa pa hi. Si perfect nga ito lo. When the invigilator asked him na had ngailo. Had ngailo. Abana 14. Even though the workers had been protesting peacefully for weeks, the management neither addressed their demands nor had showed any willingness to open negotiations. The management neither addressed simple present. Simple present akip mang na neither address dita. Ele bana nor zawa had. Si past perfect ako ya hili. Possible tau to. Past perfect ako inu man ako law na. Hizong le perfect am dila third form nga the had shown. Short bobo zong bang te na bui he. Zong le perfect man ta di nga hizong le had shown ti te ngay na. So option C. 15. The finance minister announces a new set of reforms not only to boost economic growth but also not only to boost infinitive putile but also infinitive ano ko yung ito. So option C na. The project manager demanded that each team submit their reports. Demanded past tense submitted ahida. Sina demanded, insisted, suggested ho naman pala subject ha introduce that natiya subject ha introduce na ball pala it's a base form dito each team hizya ako singular submit gahingay daw ele demanded hizya submitted gangay daw di iso ti base form am di mong to ele ti base form am ta di ita to ele ipiham adi loading here singular ma hile ti subject is singular to ako tiya hile hisi pronoun pa bang to singular na ko yung each reports na error license option B. 17. He spoke in such a convincing tone as if he had already experienced the entire situation firsthand and knew exactly what to do. As if he had already experienced past perfect and at its and so it's a parallelism na verb form so as if he had already experienced past perfect and bata experience masanga hipi ki mga head kimang ta so kutile head hi new azong hi tine so common na kila na kutia hile perfect na dinga to third form naman ngai so and known na option 4. Question 118. He has been working hard for the past 6 months and has not only cleared his professional exam but also received a prestigious scholarship to a renowned foreign university. Si Veleo hen not only but also to nagyalo has not only zawati ma cleared B2 but also swangzong B2 di to na si part ka to not only but also based to parallelism tayo na. Titu hintin he has been working hard for the past 6 months and has not only cleared his titu for the past 6 months has been present perfect continuous data sila has not present naman sila hele epizia has not only cleared present perfect naman sila received V2 kimang V2 hello V2 to V3 kimang na yung V3 kimang tini ito ele abana he received a prestigious scholarship to hele kuna receive so to hele kuna from aman ngai lo di na from a renowned university option C Abana, the minister promised to address the concern he promised past tense to infinitive phase based form man although he added past tense some of their demands were past tense but also abona he velet past tense is okay na ti atuma present tense ga hitelo past tense v2 ano kaya went against na option D. At heading 120. Although the report submitted by the audit team lacked certain financial details, but it was still considered acceptable due to the overall clarity and structure. Although kitihi submitted civilization bona attempts based among parallelism iso kay bona past tense na submitted lacked was bona past tense ay mga to dilaw to piham. Although kitihi but to kimang kom te po ito na. Nana mahila yet naman te to hizong le. But kiti bang to na pair te mo mong log siya to error license option 3. So bang well to na kasi na pa to abang hiya common question ti diam question ki ha nan ha do mo ni tile ka ha za mon pen su piham ta hide error hung ki pizza sentence out ta hung ki pizza ipi base sam error chu ipiti khe thei diam ki ja adi thau to koi man chahe hi base hai subject verb base hai elo le conditional base hai superfluous base koi man hin sapit lo na izo nang ni ki hol ngai tin na hol na dinga chu rule sa ko narrow down na nei theng ai chu question khat sim le chibang hi chilang base di khat na narrow down achi pe lo ai le rule ko za ko abona khat be khada chu ki ne port zan ko hung saw val din den ji a chu apha pen chu ka sei banga although na muta chu ele past question ham elo ai le error spotting ha solve pa ta hi le chun although chu but to ki per the point chu na lungela although pha le hi rule chu na lungela hum pe di chu ji zo ma hi le but chu na mo phat chibang hi na ti jing di huti le you'll save lot of time na CD adang ho detail aga bat ngai telo error chu chet jing ti ho tabang na hi chi ka sei banga short trick hi english a hi familiarity na ha ne ya concept clarity na ha ne ya question na ha solve sent out na met sama question na ha bet na chu chi bia time som cha azong ko error spot na bol the huti lawa whole sentence nagasima elo paragraph to south abona na sima each word for word ako focus na pian na landing a hilawang chu minung pha na dim lo cho kasi mga mizo si a team yan lang team hi jong le mizo si boy na to time management tu di dia banking ki hitalo in SSC a jong CGL to CPO sectional timing uma hila chun na pia speed mang chu it matters a lot na neglect he bang chu hitalo chu si a chu ipi hila api pe na to chu kan sei na chu detail a ka sei lo jong chu dia ka sei banga ken hiji amnan chu concept chu ka sei si a declare diwa ka sei a hila chun phat lut plus hitia time iwe sangma chu question tam chana I cover theu zo chu phana abane ka sei nai lo chumbe se the point abona he na value of banking error spotting hin na kan compile khom he hichi ho si vel a hila tam zo chu 80% 90% na chu subject verb base agreement hin subject verb kiti hi head kha chu noun zong a hope pronoun zong a hope determiners ho zong a hope abana ichan ham khat a adjective a hope na zong hum chu context zung ja khona hu umin tin si a ko par chu speech lilang an hope thea hile ga sei dia subject verb agreement 27 28 ham khat chor rules ho hiteng si kun he na hile atam zo abai sa hum ji da super so speech aban esim phat le suggestion copy khat nam detail ta lom loma ko nan how many types of adverbs are there how many types of verbs are there detail a het ngai do ga whole thu the research ga bol di lom lam ki lo intense acho concept head do na thedi mat do na thedi pa he I het ungai intense a ko sim le khang he sim didan kha mana English grammar ang basic akuna he chungai poimo tho ahi wanga ka sei wanga chu question ho kuna ha familiar hi chiwang he basic balen poimo he etikat he thedi chi concept hi ha jong le relevant he na he ang ka na poi tikat ne he thedi tin cha ai pi le self study wang chu competitive exam ah mo SSC banking for any competitive exam self study chu 90% jing chu coaching la ai lo le class vet ip ho hi 10% ham khat hi but very important weightage so agi agi ti na 10% hin tin ma agi agi 90% chu nangin na simlo ai 10% chu itamai ha iten class iten chu boys up ditin self study na ki ha depend mo ti chu hin tin tu da ding tin chu hi sa utin 120 ni solve kit phat le ipilanga bank ke nan chu SSC ham CPO CGL upcoming zom so so na chong hi detail in parts of speech topic wise bol dibang hi tu the din dei sa hi na to ke gel na chu ele hi banking error part 3 abanting le ta hi question exam type nung ya ko error spotting elo le for example ha say penu chikan cover good ding hin na next I can bol thia hi le for example hi SSC level SSC azong prelims ko elo le tier 1 ko ni basic duty dam na umin CGL tier 2 ko banking ato hong kilaw thimta advanced ticket na ai pi le topic tha ti tawte sentence arrangement kan bowling abang vel chun kan pa ai chun basic zep chun hung pan 9 ka ting na hi detail wa wang chu hai ta amne SSC question CPO question CGL elo hi le banking type bol tha question ta bo na hung ki khat kom de hin na tu chunga chi video question hoi velo hin ha wang chu hinai lo chu very basic thau chu hinai chu but poya poi mo ngen na chu chu hin tin ha wang ha basic pon error spotting hi banking adi di ko am nan chu A B ni hung ho song hung ding only A only C ti hobe so akit lang nang na part 4 part 5 involve ba idam na ulit aban bana in continue ba hin chun question level pang hi a level hi kal sautin chidung ji tu nya ibol ho wang hi ha basic nai lo chu concept bang chu ha zong ha sang no mai thiu na ai bang subject verb hai ta na he na hi le bang chu ha bang chu lo chu tu chunga video CC concept hi na season 2 hi sa utin tu nya ding na video ang sau zep de ai tan na kasi mga akit le video kyong nei chu ka nei na ipi bowling ham ti chu kaplan thon hi zong le na wan suggestion banking season hi so den SSC CPO hin focus in CGL abolute ele for example the suggestion chung bol chun khat personal preference dung zi che amang chu ki chi point hi zong le as a whole na collective ta kan la khoma chi be sang chu kan bol the na ji chu comment chu poimo ji ipilangan na phat chum piu ham ipilangan na dei ham ti wa ta bang na feedback wang chu poimo jin chi chun phat chum pi wang le comment section hin se utin aban le achai na chen hin bi ho chun concept wang chu izat ham khat chu clear diu ta sana min na pile tu nya ding chin chu hi sa tawtin akit phat le video phat le ki mutu ki tawtin bon chawin bye bye